Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Inside the Tape on Inside the Birds. I'm Jeff Mosher alongside Adam Kaplan, and of course, breaking down the tape. And this time it's the Eagles offense is Greg Cosell. And man, is Greg excited to bring to you his observations and tape breakdown of an Eagles offense that scored 10 points in their 10-7 win over the Green Bay Packers. So, Greg, try to keep this brief and, overview. Well, what jumped out at you on tape from the Eagles offense?
The fact that for the second consecutive game, because they had the bye, that they're playing heavy. I mean, they played significant snaps with 6 O-line personnel. They played 11 in this game, which likely would have been more if Lane Johnson did not get hurt. So they clearly are making commitment to that. They played 18 snaps with 2 tight ends on the field. They had some snaps with 6 O-linemen and 2 tight ends. In the last 3 games, Minnesota, Giants, Packers, they played less than 50% of their offensive snaps in 11 personnel. So, clearly this was not a one-off against the Packers. They seem to be making a commitment. Now, again, I don't want to sit here and say we know what they're going to do in their next game against the Lions. I don't want to, because you don't know the answer to that.
Yep.
But as you guys know, I talk about what's there, not, anybody can speculate. That's the easiest thing to do. Anybody can say what they think might happen. But they've clearly made a commitment in these last 3 games to be much heavier on offense. Barkley in the last 2 games is 14 for 112 out of 6 O-line personnel. But, of course, that includes the 65-yard touchdown run against the Giants. But that counts, So, this seems to be the direction. This was a game, this particular game, where I really felt like, and I'm just responding to the tape. I'm not making a judgment about anything. I'm responding as I'm watching the tape to what I'm seeing. It just did not seem like they wanted Jalen Hurts to be a big factor in this game throwing the football. That did not seem to be how they wanted to play this game. And they got to win. They're an odd team. And you'll hear a lot of talk there's because the record's 7-2 and because they're Super Bowl champions, it's inarguable. But you're going to hear a lot of talk about they just know how to win. They know, that kind of talk.
Cliche.
You can't argue with any of that. They're 7-2. They're the number 1 seed. They're Super Bowl champions. But they're a team right now, as we look through 9 games, that for the most part, and I think you guys would agree, if you're looking 30,000-foot overview, they have not run the ball very well, correct? Other than the one game, Barkley's not run the ball very well.
Right.
Which is not just him, but they have not run the ball very well. And they've not really thrown the ball very well, except for certain spots here and there. So I don't think I'm saying anything that the tape doesn't show.
Greg, it reminds me
that 7-2 that doesn't run it very well and doesn't throw it very well. It's very odd.
It reminds me of last year, Save Barkley, who was brilliant, of the passing game last year. You from week to week, you had no idea what you were going to get.
Yeah.
From a success rate.
Right.
And, I thought they would win.
To me, the play that said so much was late third quarter, scoreless game, or was it 3-0? I think it was scoreless.
Okay.
Late third quarter,
because they kicked the field goal on the next play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
It was 3rd and 12 from the plus 26, meaning 26 going in. It's 3rd and 12, and they hand the ball to Will Shipley, who, by the way, played on most third downs. It'll be interesting to see if that continues. And they handed it off to Will Shipley, who, gained 4 or 5 yards, and they kicked the field goal. When you have Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and it's 3rd and 12, and it's a scoreless game, and you're going in, you're just outside the red zone. When I saw that play, I'm thinking they didn't drop back and throw it, or at least put the ball in Hurts' hands and make the defense have to defend that. That really surprised me. And again, you know me well enough to know I'm not questioning. It's not like, what is, Kevin Petullo doing? He doesn't know. I don't think like that ever, because these guys have way more information than I have. So I never think like that. But
it was actually 3rd and 12. It was 3rd
and 12.
Right. Yeah. And they got 4 yards. It's crazy because remember the play before that, they got the delay of game, and I'm thinking, well, they're obviously going to throw the ball here. Oops, nope, they ran it.
No, it was just one of those things, Jeff and Adam, that surprised me.
Surprised us. Come on.
In a scoreless game, it's one thing if they were up 21-6. Then, hey, you get a field goal, you move on. The other team's only going to have a certain number of possessions left. You got a great defense. But the game was scoreless.
Yeah. And I did think about this, Greg. They probably have for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't know. I don't have the rankings, but they have done a good job of sneaking a 3rd and long run against an opponent, not just with Jalen Hurts, but even with a running back. But the way that usually involves a cute little, like a kick out block or something. The way that they ran the play that we're talking about, to me, was like a submissive play. It was just like, we're just getting some yards for Jake Elliott to kick a field goal, which I agree with you with. It wasn't meant to attack. It was meant to just kind of preserve and persevere and get that field goal.
It was a defensive. I mean, again, it's not a rip in the play call. You know, they know more, but it was a defensive play call, not an offensive play call.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Fair enough.
Devontae Smith, Greg, he continues to be the high leverage guy for Jalen Hurts this year. It has felt like a changing of the top most meaningful wide receiver in this offense. But I think everybody wants to wonder, well, has that hurt the offense that AJ sort of just disappears within it?
Well, this was a very odd game from a passing game perspective, so I don't know what to make of that. I mean, look, we all agree Devonta Smith's a terrific player. That has nothing to do with this. We won't discuss the 36-yarder because I'm sure you're going to show it, and we'll discuss it when you show it. But clearly Smith has become a really significant factor here. Maybe more so than AJ Brown. Certainly last in the game on Monday night he was. I actually thought that the best throw that Hurts made in the game, believe it or not, was the 16-yarder on 3rd and 12 later in the fourth quarter on the outcut by Smith, because that was an anticipation, timing, precise ball placement throw. That to me was just a really good quarterback throw.
Almost thought about clipping that one too. I didn't, but yes, I think a lot of people remember that play. It was very significant. It was one of their few 3rd down conversions in a while, and it was also a good block. I thought he was blocked up well. Through strong. How did you think the offensive line in general looked? I mean, obviously Lane Johnson went out. Fred Johnson had to go in.
Up and down, uneven performance.
Yeah.
You could tell that on 3rd downs, the guy that they wanted Micah Parsons to rush against was Steen, because they would move Parsons inside and basically put him over Steen. It turned out not to be a huge factor in the game just because there wasn't a lot of passing. I mean, it wasn't one of those games. Hurts didn't drop back a lot. So, it didn't turn out to be a big factor in the way the game played out.
Yeah. All right, Adam, anything, or do you want to just go straight to the clips?
No, let's just get started. I mean, look, I just felt like they made progress against the passing game. We're talking Minnesota, and obviously the Giants. Yes, the run game with Barkley was really good against the Giants. And then you feel like, okay, things are starting to roll. And then they have the bye, and you never know what that means. But after the bye, you get a game like this with a pass game. You're like, okay, are we back to square one again? That's the concern.
Yeah. Hey, it's Jeff Mosher. And if you have a family and kids at home like me, you always want them to be fully protected. That's why I'm thrilled to be a Simply Safe customer. And our house is equipped with the most technologically advanced alarm system you can get. If you could actually stop someone from breaking into your home before they got inside, why wouldn't you? Traditional security systems only react after a break-in. But Simply Safe is different because it stops crimes before they happen with Active Guard outdoor protection. Their AI-powered cameras detect threats while they're still outside your home, and they alert real security agents. These agents take action while the intruder is still outside and confront the intruder to let them know they're being watched on camera and police is on the way. And that's how you stop a crime before it's committed. There's no long-term contracts or hidden fees. You can cancel anytime, and it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Try it and see the difference for yourself. Do not miss out on Simply Safe's biggest sale of the year, 60% off. Our listeners get 60% off a Simply Safe home security system at simplysafe.com/bird. That's simplysafe.com/bird. Hey, I still like a good night out, but I'm not always in the mood to drink, and that's why I looked for a great alternative, and I found one. It's called Soul's Out of Office Gummies. You get the same light, happy buzz, but you don't have the hangover. There's no sugar, and you don't get that awkward feeling the next morning. They help me unwind and ease into my evening without the alcohol or the next day fog. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance your creativity and relaxation. With 5 different strengths, you can tailor the dose to fit your vibe. From a gentle 1.5 milligram microdose to their newest 15 milligram gummy for a more elevated experience. They've also got a variety of products specifically designed to help you get a better night's rest, including Soul's top selling sleep gummy, a fan favorite for deep restorative sleep. So bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. So go to getsoul.com and use the code BIRDS, BIRDS. That's getsoul.com, promo code BIRDS for 30% off. So here's what I wonder, and as we'll start to take a look, we'll look at Saquon Barkley's 15-yard run, which was obviously his best run of the game. What I wonder about this, Greg, because you brought this up, it's 3 games now of using jumbo tight ends, going under center a little, as people can see here that I've got queued up. And if you're being honest about it, if the whole purpose was to have a good impact on your rushing offense, there's no denying that they've got some good play action passes in those first 2 games off of it. But if you're trying to get a better rushing offense, they're kind of 1 for 2 because they didn't run the ball well out of jumbo against the Vikings. They did really well against the Giants, but then they took a step back here against the Packers.
Yeah, and the other thing which we thought we might see more of, but it's kind of decreased, is we thought we might see more of Hurts under center in the play action pass game, and that really hasn't happened. And again, there's none of us can say why we're not there, but that hasn't happened.
All right. So here they are. They've got their jumbo front. I believe this is jumbo 6.
It's jumbo. It's kind of an inside zone-ish concept, and it's a really sharp, decisive cut by Barkley. It's a good run.
There's Fred, and then Lane's in. Yep.
It's
really
the jumbo
good run
under center. Pretty good blocking. This is, I wouldn't call it a complete resetting of the line of scrimmage, but they got enough push to open up.
Yeah, it's a real, and it's a good run by Bart. Good vision, good sharp cut.
Yeah,
worked out well.
Yep. All right. And then now we're going to go to the screen. We're going to go all the way from the first quarter 15-yard run to the fourth quarter.
You're talking about the Barkley long play?
Yeah, this is the Barkley long play.
To be honest, that was just a bust by Walker.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree, but I did want to highlight A.J. Brown, who I thought did a pretty good job blocking here.
Because they're playing cover 1.
But
Walker, I don't know what Walker was thinking. You could almost see him by his body reaction know that, well, should I be going to Barkley? Nah, I'm not sure. You could almost see it.
Quay Walker, right.
Yeah, they're in cover 1. And Walker, what Hurts wanted here, because it was 3rd down, you can see the sticks up top in the picture. It's about 3rd and 7. He wanted to hit Goddard on the outcut versus Evan Williams. You can see he's ready to throw it, but Williams is in position that he could pick this off and score. So Hurts, this is pretty much a one-read kind of play. And Hurts right now, although technically he does have an inside route if he wants to go there, but he kind of breaks down, and then he just happens to see that Barkley's wide open because Quay Walker busted the coverage. Quay Walker, they're playing cover 1, and Quay Walker is responsible for Barkley in coverage, and he just busts.
At least he didn't run. I mean, he found Barkley. I mean,
then he makes Valentine miss, and there's a lot of green grass.
Yeah, this was no screen pass. This is
off
schedule.
Not a screen pass. I wanted to highlight here A.J. Brown doing a nice little job blocking downfield there.
Yeah, pushed them. Good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yep.
But
get in the way or push. Yes.
Yep.
But you can see Hurts is ready to throw it out to the right. You'll see it. It's clear as a bell. This is the play.
Greg, within this play, just overall, how did Brett Toth play? Did you notice?
All right. So
this is the touchdown.
Yes, and this would be the touchdown here.
Which was the very next play, by the way.
That's correct.
So this is a called shot play. They're in shot play territory. They're in 11 personnel. They're going to motion Dotson across the formation, which is critical. And the reason it's critical is because he's going to release outside of Smith, which means that the corner now has to deal with Dotson, and Smith can run this deep over on the safety Williams. But this is essentially a vertical high-low, because you see that Brown's going to run the dig, which is not going to be there because McKinney's sitting on it, and he's sitting on it because they throw this quick in-breaker a lot to Brown, so he's sitting on it. So it just becomes a vertical high-low. So now he throws the deep over. He actually throws a little behind him. You see Goddard cross the formation, and he's a primary pass protector.
Look at that, going way up.
Yeah.
I feel like almost all of his touchdowns are like that, where he has to go way up.
This was a very well-schemed play because you got what you wanted. You got Smith running the deep over on a safety, and you'll take that 100% of the time.
Right. So that was the fourth quarter. That obviously put him up 10-0. I'm reversing here a little bit to the third quarter because that's when, after a decent, I would say the Eagles ran the ball decently, things started to go south in the second half.
Decent is, by the way, a word that scouts, you would never use that if you were evaluating a player. You'd never say he's decent, because the head of the personnel department would say, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, and also he's great or he stinks.
Right.
Thumbs down. There was no thumbs in the middle. Yep.
Right.
It's true. It's scouting. It's absolutely true.
It's true.
It's like saying something is nice. Like, what does that mean? You know, we're talking about like a nice piece of meat from the, the butcher. Yeah, what's nice meat, you know?
This isn't jumbo, but they are under center, and they've got, I think, Kylan Granson in sort of an H-back.
By the way, Granson played 17 snaps, Calcaterra 25, Goddard 54. I mean, this was a tight end game.
Yep. Now, the question I have is, who was responsible for blocking? Because you have two guys basically getting a free ride to Saquon Barkley there. It looked like I would have to think there was some confusion on who was supposed to get who. Because if you look at the three, Toth goes right into the second level.
Yeah, so I looked at this play several times, and sometimes you just can't figure out. I mean,
like Steen and Toth both go into the second level, and that leaves 96, the big guy, and 95 to just have a free.
Well, the other thing is what's Dickerson doing? Because look at the blocks on the outside.
He is. Yeah.
Because if Mailata is supposed to get who he blocks, and then you got 2-on-2 out there, then what is Dickerson doing? Dickerson? I don't know.
It's got to be a missed sort of assignment.
It's missed. Yeah.
Two guys blocking one, and then no guys blocking two. I mean,
it's missed.
Yep.
Yeah. That was rough. And then in the fourth quarter, when they were up 10-7, they were trying to run the ball out. So they obviously
they did not run. They could not run use the running game to run clock here and win the game. I mean, this is something they did last year all the time. They did not do it in this game.
I mean, look what you have here. You have, not only do you have Lane Johnson back in the game with the ankle injury, but you've also got the split tight ends here. So you've got a lot of hefty beef up front.
You got 6 O linemen.
Yeah, 6 O linemen. They try to run double teams, but the safety just completely unaccounted for. Now,
because he's not part of the initial. That's the reason. I mean, it's a really good play by. Look where he comes from. There's no way, Jeff. I'm not defending anybody, but there's no way, given where he comes from, that he's in the vision or mindset of any O lineman.
Right. Right now, it looks like there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 on 8. You think you've got 8 on 8 here, so that Saquon just has to make one person miss or get the double teams.
Yeah,
but then
it's a really good play by Williams.
Right. I thought that. I agree, Greg. I saw that. And I saw that's a good play by the Packers, more so than bad. Now here's one: Calcaterra on the right side, Goddard on the right side. So again, you've got 12 personnel.
And 6 O linemen. Johnson's on the right side too.
6 O linemen, jumbo. It looked like initially you get push up front, but if you see the guy who Calcaterra is supposed to block, you see Calcaterra kind of wave.
Yeah.
Cuts across with Williams, right?
That's Williams again.
Yeah. Man, it's amazing how many guys you can have in scrimmage, right? But you get one guy on the outer edge who misses his block or doesn't get enough body.
That's all it takes.
Man, that's all it takes. Yep. And then this was, I believe, the very next play, the last play, another attempt to try to run the ball. 91. Now, is this Toth? I think this is Toth.
Well, Toth is 64. Yep.
Yeah, but I think that's the guy who allows the inside penetration here.
Yep.
Yes, a little. Yep.
Just enough to make Barkley.
Right. And tries to break outside, tries to squeeze it here.
Right
there. And unfortunately,
that was a good job by Quay getting off his. Yeah. But these are the little things. That's all that we got there. These are the little things that are not going right. And it's been many weeks now for the Eagles that happened. Hey, Philly fans, game day is stressful enough. Parking, traffic, long lines. We've all been there. But when it comes to your cannabis, Camden Apothecary makes it easy. This is the dispensary for sports fans, just minutes outside of Philly with plenty of free parking. You'll be in and out fast, no hassle, no waiting. And they don't just care about convenience. Camden Apothecary is all about the guest experience. Their staff makes sure you feel taken care of every time you walk in. Plus, they carry only the best quality cannabis at the fairest prices. So whether you're stocking up for the tailgate, the watch party, or celebrating a big win, you know you're getting the good stuff without overpaying. They even show love to the community with specials for fans, students, service members, and healthcare pros. Camden Apothecary, top quality cannabis, great prices, and an experience made for Philly fans 21 and up.
I mean, really, they've not run the ball well all year, except for a few select plays here and there, and the Giants game. I mean, really, that's been the deal.
Yeah. But again, I think this hits to the point. You can call it predictable, but when you put 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, you know you're predictable. It's not about that. It's about executing. It's
running
about
the ball,
not allowing that inside pressure,
Running the ball, if you're a good running team, you're always predictable. That's always the meaningless thing to say.
And coaches always laugh like they think the media or the fans don't. Well, it's a 9-man box or 8-man box. You can't run. I won't curse here, but that coaches think it's complete nonsense.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. It's about structure and how you execute. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Well,
but it'll be very interesting to see what the game plan offensively is on Sunday night. And, none of us will know, and we'll discuss it more, based on what we think we know and how the season's progressed to this point when we do the pregame show. But at the end of the day, this has not been a really good offensive season.
All right, that is going to do it for another edition of Inside the Tape. For Greg Cosell and Adam Kaplan, I'm Jeff Mosher.